Good morning students, welcome to all fours e-learning classes. This is zoology subject, chapter excretory products and their elimination, session 15, disorders of the excretory system. So, what is the function played by the kidneys? It is the excretion, which means the nitrogenous wastes are eliminated outside. So, this functioning is impaired, resulting in the disorders of the excretory system. We have discussed the functions of the kidneys: osmoregulation, homeostasis, maintenance of the balance of the salts, and the secretion of renin, secretion of erythropoietin, maintenance of the pH in the blood, filtration. These are the functions of the kidneys. Now those functions are what impaired, resulting in the excretory system disorders. That includes first of all uremia. Uremia in the sense excess of the presence of urea in blood, right? That is named to be the uremia. So I repeat, generally urea is to be sent out of the body through urine, which means the urea which is synthesized in the liver brought into the kidneys glomerulus, where it get the filtered. Glomerular filtration results in the secretion of the filtering of the excretory nitrogenous waste into the Bowman's capsule, from which it is eliminated outside. So urea present in the urine, right? But if it is present in the blood, in the sense glomeruli is not functioning, that is what? It's a disorder. Excess presence of the urea in the blood is named to be the uremia, and the due reasons for it are glomerular filtration, the glomerulonephritis. The reason for this is glomerulonephritis, and the hypertension, and diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is what discussed. I repeat, the excess presence of the urea in the blood is named to be the uremia. It is due to the impairing in the function of the kidneys, that is nothing but a glomerulonephritis and the hypertension. Glomerulonephritis in the sense the inflammation in the glomerulus, where the glomeruli are engorged with the blood, means glomeruli are swelled with the blood. What do you mean by that? It means it is not filtering the blood and releasing the nitrogenous waste and fluids into the Bowman's capsule and into the renal tubule. That is what it is failed. That is the impairing in the function of the kidneys. That results in excess presence of urea in blood, and this can be rectified by hemodialysis. Hemodialysis is done by a device named to be the hemodialyzer. Hemodialyzer is a device through which the artificially the filtration is done outside of the body. That is hemodialysis. That is what the done by means of hemodialyzer, a device. That is uremia. Next, come and discuss the second one is named to be the nephritis. Nephritis in the sense it is also named to be, make a note, it is also named to be the Bright's disease, and this is nothing but it is of two types: pyelonephritis Pyelonephritis, and the another is said to be the glomerulonephritis. Glomerulonephritis. Generally, the nephritis is also named to be a disease, Bright's disease. Inflammation in the glomerulus is considered to be the glomerulonephritis. Next, pyelonephritis in the sense it is an inflammation condition. What do you mean by inflammation? It is nothing but the sense of fire. Inflammation in the renal pelvis and medullary part of the kidney is what name it to be the pyelonephritis. This is very important aspect. Make a note. So nephritis is named to be the Bright's disease. It is of two types, pyelonephritis and glomerulonephritis. Here it is characterized by inflammation. Inflammation in the sense of fire. If this inflammation in renal pelvis and the medullary part of the kidney, it is named to be the pyelonephritis. Whereas the inflammation in the glomerulus is referred to as glomerulonephritis. Now the question is, why does it takes place? It is that the malfunctioning of the kidneys, nothing but the glomeruli are engorged with the blood, and that results in the inflammation. That's what nephritis, Bright's disease. Inflammation in the renal pelvis and medullary part is the pyelonephritis, whereas glomerulonephritis is inflammation in glomerulus. This is sometimes even caused by pathogenic infection, that is maybe bacteria, virus, or the other pathogens, and even certain drugs. The intake of the drugs also may damage the functioning of the glomerular filtration, and that is failed to filter and results in the inflammation, that is named to be the glomerulonephritis. Inflammation, it is not that the kidneys completely stopped from working. So that's what pyelonephritis and glomerulonephritis. Inflammation in the glomerulus is glomerulonephritis, and inflammation in the renal pelvis and medullary part is pyelonephritis. Next we move on to the another one is named to be the renal caliculi. Renal caliculi, and it is also named to be the kidney stones. Right. Generally, the renal caliculi or kidney stones in the sense, generally the major risk of the renal caliculi or kidney stone is dehydration. You might have noticed this in a majority of the individual during the June-July time period. Why? Generally, the people who have a low tendency of taking water, and that too during the summer, water less intake definitely going to be results in the formation of hard crystals of uric acid and oxalates. This is the point to remember. That is, the uric acid crystals as well as the oxalates are excessively present and form the hard crystals. So if they go on continuing low intake of water or else excessive dehydration, both are same points. So the uric acid and oxalates become hard crystals. That's nothing but the renal caliculi or kidney stones. And generally this results in the colic pains. colic pain, renal colic pains is nothing but certain times people suffer from a pain which start in the back region and start moving towards the abdomen and also lower part of the thigh or else testicle region or else the vagina. This is the symptom. Pain which start in the back of the body and runs abdomen region and also lower thigh region as well as the testicles in male and the vagina in female, they get the pain, severe pain. This is the indication of the renal calculi or kidney stones. It doesn't mean that people take stones, but the low content of water and intake as well as the dehydration are the major risk which results in the formation of hard crystals of uric acid and oxalates in the urinary tract, and that's how the renal calculi kidney stone is the result. So while urination also they get the pain, diuresis, painful urination. These are the symptoms in a renal calculi or kidney stones. Next, we move on to the one more is none other than the renal insufficiency, which is also said to be the kidney failure or renal failure. Renal failure or kidney failure. Kidney failure. It is also said to be the renal insufficiency. Renal insufficiency. Insufficiency earlier it is used to be nothing but abrupt sudden failure in the functioning of the kidney. Kidney failed to function abruptly, completely. So what is the function of the kidney? Glomerular filtration, then the reabsorption, then tubular secretion are the functions. Urine formation. So abrupt the malfunctioning, abrupt stoppage in the functioning of the kidney, abrupt cessation of the kidney in its function. Nothing but glomerular filtration is completely abrupted, stopped. Sudden cessation, abrupt cessation taking place results in kidney failure. Either one or both the kidneys fail. And this results in the conditions generally what are the general tendency of the kidneys. We have seen that a normal kidney per day 1.5 liters of the urine is sent out, expelled out. Is it right? 1.5, right? But in the case of the renal failure, which is also said to be acute renal failure in certain conditions, acute renal failure is seen. Acute means severe. Recall and remind you the terms we have used earlier, acute and chronic. Chronic means for a long period, acute means severe. So acute renal failure is a condition where the kidney is completely failed, where severe conditions are anuria and oligouria are the conditions may happen to be takes place. Anuria and oligouria in the sense in acute renal failure. Anuria in the sense no urination, which means per day less than 50 ml of the urine excretion. Imagine what is the general tendency. 1.5 liters of the urine is taking place per day, and see here 50 ml. Where is the comparison? That's what anuria. Oligouria. Oligo refers to less. That is less urination. That is if the per day 250 ml of the urine is excreted, which is said to be the oligouria. So these two refers to the abrupt cessation of the functioning of the kidney. That's what it is, kidney failure or renal failure. And this can be overcome by artificial kidney transplantation. That is a kidney transplantation, artificial, not artificial kidney, but kidney transplantation. Artificial kidney in the sense the hemodialysis, which is done outside of the body. So that is what the renal failure, kidney failure, renal insufficiency, and this is also indicated by accumulation of serum creatine levels in the blood. What is a creatine? Creatine is nothing but the threshold substance which needs to be immediately eliminated. It is a byproduct of muscle contraction. Whose level is increased in the blood is going to be renal failure or kidney failure. And the symptoms seen are edema. Edema in the sense the swelling of the body parts, low blood pressure, kidney completely damaged, even cardiac output also influenced. That is all what we refer as renal failure or kidney failure. And acute renal failure is a severe condition where anuria, normally 1.5 liters of urination takes place, but here less than 50 ml. Anuria, oliguria, the urine secretion is just 250 ml. And not only this, the other conditions are hypertension. Hypertension also affects the condition related to the kidney. Why? Remind you that we discussed the increasing in the blood pressure going to be affecting the brain, kidneys and eyes. So it is hypertension. Hypertension is increasing in the blood pressure. Why? Why means if what is that the kidney function involve the secretion of renin? Yes. What is the role played by renin? Juxtaglomerular cells release the secret renin. Renin is a enzyme but acts as a hormone. It is released such that convert under the low glomerular filtration condition. It is released and it converts the angiotensin into angiotensin, which is play a role in the stimulation of the adrenal cortex to secrete aldosterone, which increases the sodium absorption. So sodium absorption, if go on increasing, going to be result in the hypertension. So that is also one of the disorder. That is, if the renin secretion is high, if renin secretion is not monitored, if renin is secreted excessively, that causes the absorption of sodium and results in hypertension. Next, edema. Edema means swelling of the body parts. That is also one of the functions we refer under the disorders of the excretory system. And also tubular acidosis. Tubular acidosis in the sense where the acidic conditions are increased. So these are all what we referred to as the disorders of the excretory system. In this connection, few more are also need to be discussed related to the malfunctioning of the kidneys. For suppose hematuria, excess the removal of the hemoglobin through the urine is hemoglobin. If excess if hemoglobin is sent out, it is hemoglobinuria. If albumin is lost through the urine, albuminuria. And if it is the blood loss through the urine, hematuria. And besides that, pyuria is also seen. Pyuria in the sense pyuria, that is the loss of WBCs through the urine is pyuria. Next, diuresis. Diuresis. Generally, the terms referred to as a diuresis is, spelling is very, very important. If du is a different term, dy is a different term. Diuresis is a excess amount of the urination is diuresis. That's what ADH is, an anti-diuretic hormone. Diuresis, dy, if it is referred to as painful urination. So, the terms anuria means low urination or no. A refers to no urination. 50 ml per day cannot be considered as a urination. That's what it is, anuria. Oligouria. Oligo refers to less. If 250 ml of the urination is done per day, it is oligouria. And diuresis. Diuresis, dy, refers to painful urination. And even we see nocturia, nocturnal refers to night. Particularly in aged individual, they go for the urination during the night time. Frequently, number of times they go, that is nocturia. And the uresis is also seen, which is bedwetting. The children are what bedwetting. So these are all what the terms we came across related to the disorders of the excretory system. And even the diabetes insipidus is also related to the kidney functioning. Diabetes insipidus. So in this connection, diabetes insipidus in the sense are tasteless, nothing but the diluted urine. Generally, the hormone we have discussed, ADH, anti-diuretic hormone, or vasopressin, is a hormone secreted by hypothalamus, and it is released into the neurohypophysis. From neurohypophysis, the ADH released, it is responsible for reabsorption of water. It is for the functioning of reabsorption of water or retention of the water. That is the regulated and the conditional reabsorption of water is a facultative reabsorption. At DCT and collecting duct, the water reabsorption is influenced by antidiuretic hormone and vasopressin. This is how it avoids the diuresis. DIURESIS, diuresis. That's what it is, preventing diuresis. So it is antidiuretic hormone. So deficiency or defect in its receptors or deficiency of ADH at DCT and collecting duct, water retention, water reabsorption does not take place. As the water reabsorption does not take place, water go on eliminating through the urine. What is the amount of the what is the urination per day? 1.5 liters of the urination takes place. 1.5 liters. But here in diabetes insipidus, where 20 liters of what? The urination. Frequent urination, excessive urination. And the symptoms include are, what is the role played by ADH? It is for constrictor effect on the blood vessels, increasing the BP. But here the deficiency what causes the low BP, excessive thirsty, excessive urination, frequent urination, and daily about 20 liters, imagine. So naturally the urine becomes diluted. That is what diabetes insipidus. Whereas diabetes mellitus is not related with the excretory system, that you must keep in mind. It is an endocrine disorder of the hormonal deficiency of the insulin deficiency results in diabetes mellitus, where excess amount of the glucose glucose is failed to converted into glycogen. So glucose levels if increase in the blood, that is diabetes mellitus. So these are all the terms, that is disorders of the excretory system involve uremia, excessive. So sometimes you may be misled that instead of blood it is given in the urine. So excessive urination cannot be the uremia. We people don't concentrate on certain terminology, so we always concentrate on excessive uremia, where if it is in the urine, that's okay. The urine is with the urea only, but it cannot be the disorder. But blood is important. Excessive presence of urea in blood, it is due to glomerulonephritis, hypertension, and diabetes the mellitus, and this can be rectified by hemodialysis, an artificial method where the filtering, glomerular filtration, and filtration is done outside the body. It get purified with the hemodialyzer. And nephritis, it is also named to be the Bright's disease, which is a pyelonephritis and a glomerulonephritis. It is nothing but inflammation. It is sometimes caused by the bacteria, virus, or else the pathogens. And even certain time the excessive intake of the drugs and the other toxic substances causes the nephritis. If it is inflammation in the renal pelvis and the medullary part, it is named to be the pyelonephritis, whereas in the glomerulus is glomerulonephritis. And the renal caliculi kidney stones, that is the condition in which hard crystals of uric acid and oxalates are formed in the urinary tract. The major risk of the renal caliculi kidney stones is dehydration, and the renal caliculi where the colic pains, this is very important, colic pains are seen. Colic pains in the sense the pain that starts at the back of the body and runs towards the abdomen and the lower abdomen, towards the thigh, and also the testicles, and also to the vagina in females. Urination, sense of fire while urination are also seen as the symptoms. And hypertension, if renin is RENIN secreted excessively, that intakes the sodium and results in increasing the blood pressure, that is hypertension. Diabetes insipidus, and renal failure or kidney failure, renal insufficiency, where the kidney functioning is either one or both of the kidneys are what become non-functional. So in this there are acute renal failure in the sense completely non-functional. Acute renal failure, the conditions seen are anuria, that is less than 50 ml of urination takes place per day, or else oligouria, 250 ml of the urine per day, that is the oligouria. And in renal failure, certain conditions called increasing in the serum creatinine levels also takes place. Next, diabetes insipidus, due to the deficiency of ADH, antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin. The role played by ADH, in fact this is synthesized in the hypothalamus, and through hypothalamo-hypophyseal tracts it is brought into the neurohypophysis, from where it is released. And this hormone play a role in the reabsorption of water, but its deficiency results in failure in reabsorption of water. So all the water is lost through the urine, about 20 liters. So excessive urination. Next, the thirsty conditions are seen in the case of the diabetes insipidus, which is different from diabetes mellitus, which is that of deficiency of the insulin. And apart from that, the urea, that is, there are terms related to this we discuss, that is the dysuria in the sense painful dysuria, dys is what dysuria, painful urination. Oliguria, less urination, 250 ml. Anuria, no urination. And apart from that, nocturia, it is the urination during the night time. Thank you.